Well, speaking of rehabilitation, let's talk about what
Yeah.
our good old friends in Los Angeles, California, my hometown where I grew up.
Yeah. So we got Charlie Kirk here telling us about something that's coming down the pipe. It's actually actively in rollout right now.
Homeless in Los Angeles get free apartments valued at $600,000 per unit and $162 million total, all at taxpayers' expense. Gazans get $230 million, a pier that doesn't work, and $9 billion in aid, even though we know much of that will be used to fund terror. Newly arrived illegals get debit cards with cash, free housing and hotels, flights to anywhere, and free legal advice to game our asylum laws. Ukrainians get their pensions paid for and $170 billion in aid and munitions. Everywhere Americans look, deadbeats, foreigners, and criminals are gaming the system, breaking the rules, and ripping off taxpayers, while those same taxpayers can't afford eggs, gas, or rent. America and its citizens must be put first, or eventually people will just opt out of the entire system.
Interesting. So
I don't know what he means by opt out of the entire system, but maybe he means they'll stop paying taxes.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know either. He doesn't clarify that. But one thing to note, I pulled some articles from the actual area to give a breakdown, and one of them here from ABC7 just says there are 278 units in the 19-story development. It's intended to help people currently without shelter on Skid Row and will be LA's largest permanent support housing project. That's what they're calling it, a support housing project. It's interesting how they bend language, man. It's a support housing project. Okay, sure. The building will have an entire floor of offices and for caseworkers, in addition to a list of impressive amenities. But here's an interesting piece. The $165 million project is receiving permanent financing from Proposition HHH, which voters overwhelmingly passed in 2006. And the new tower is also receiving state housing funds and $56 million in state tax credits. So let's play the video that kind of walks us through the actual support housing project.
Happening today, a grand opening for a high-rise homeless shelter featuring apartments with skyline views, a gym, even a cafe.
Eyewitness News reporter Mark Cotaropolis joins us here in studio with details on this.
We're going to show you what $165 million will get you. It's considered affordable housing, but the cost to build this type of a project, it still adds up. Each unit costs nearly $600,000, and it's being funded by taxpayers. Take a look at the images here. There are 278 units in this 19-story development known as the Weingart Tower. It's intended to help people currently without shelter on Skid Row. This will be LA's largest permanent supportive housing project. There is an entire floor of offices for caseworkers, and the list of amenities is pretty impressive. As you mentioned, there's a gym, an art room, a music room, and a computer room and library. People living here will enjoy 6 common balconies and a cafe. The $165 million project is receiving permanent financing from Proposition HHH, which voters overwhelmingly passed in 2016. The new tower is also receiving state housing funds and $56 million in state tax credits. The grand opening set for later this morning. Several elected officials are going to be there, including Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass. And guys, this is really just the beginning. There's more planned. Another tower more than a year away, but it's under construction.
So, I mean, I think noble cause, and I'm for rehabilitating people, and obviously give people a step up in their quality of life and experience, and they can start to see the world in a different way. I wonder what the way to determine who gets in, who doesn't get in.
Right.
That's 278 units. The data shows, I just looked this up, there are 75,518 people who are homeless in the county. Right. Los Angeles is massive. So we just saved 278 people. That's like a drop in the bucket, and it cost us $165 million. So noble idea, and I think it's a move in the right direction, but poorly executed, as are most government initiatives.
Yeah, dude,
where they have no concept of how to actually spend money. They think that just because you give somebody a house and put them into a better space that you've solved the problem. It's like not necessarily.
Yeah, and to be frank, man, like somebody's getting their pockets lined in these kind of projects.
Oh,
Because
1,000%. Because the
you know,
developers using all, state and taxpayer money to build it. Right.
Right.
And
yeah, dude, it's bogus. Like you said, noble intent, but that's foolish implementation for sure.
yeah.
Like I'm just gonna call it what it is. They got enough money mismanagement problems in the state of California. If I was you guys, I'm living in California. I mean, I won't dare say anything like physically needs to happen, but y'all need to act like y'all actually care and y'all tired of being taken advantage of because this is just right in front of you. This is your own money. It's funny because we say like taxpayer dollars. We don't really outside of the actual taxing when you go to you get a paycheck or you look at your what's on the back end after running your business. Taxes, it almost seems at a distance, right? It seems at a distance. And so I think we use these phrases of like taxpayer money, taxpayer money. Well, the truth is most taxpayers don't feel that usage of that money. They feel it down the line. And
Yeah.
so, when people are saying this stuff, it's like, oh yeah, it's taxpayers money. Yeah, I support it. It's like, no, you don't understand. Like future
Yeah.
money is still future money.
Well, and think about it like this: 278 units, $165 million, and that project probably took 3 years.
Yeah.
To get all the way through the planning process, all the way through the build and development process. So, how are we going to overcome 75,000 in homeless?
You know how we're going to do it? There's a young entrepreneur out there, or even an older one, and we're talking to you. You can see this. You have some smart ideas out there, some God-given ideas on how to solve this problem. You're going to go do it. The same way Elon did it with the rockets and everything else when the government was saying it's going to cost this much money, go out and do it. We're rooting for you because it's possible.
Yeah, there's 9.72 million people or more in Los Angeles County, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about 75,000 people.
Yeah.
It's a very small percentage of the population. It's just when people are homeless and they don't have a place to go, right? They tend to land on the main thoroughfares.
Yep.
Where these people tend to live.
Right.
But we're really only need to solve the problem for 75,000 people out of 9.7 million people. So the way that they're going about it, it's backwards.